Good evening, everyone. It is once again Ted the Speed Learner, and this is going to be a rather informal presentation on how smartphones work. And if I stutter, if I stammer, please ignore it. Let's just go on here. But anyway, I wanted to show you this. This is the smartphone that Tracfone ultimately, in their own way, forced me to get some time ago. Okay, I really didn't want a smartphone in the first place, but because they wanted to be argumentative, I just went ahead and got one. Alright, this is what the Tracfone Smartphone looks like. I know maybe you have a bigger Tracfone Smartphone, or maybe you have Tracfone on your tablet. You can actually do that. I won't explain that here, but you can actually do something like that. But anyway, it's kind of complicated, and I won't get into it here, but yes, you can actually turn your tablet into a Tracfone Smartphone. It's not easy to do, but it can be done. Okay, but that's a different video for a different time, and I'm not going to get into it right now. But anyway, this is the smartphone, and you say, well, I see some apps on there already. Well, the first thing you need to know about this is that this is an Android phone. I have already previously discussed why I will never buy an iPhone. I will never buy one of those Apple tablets or anything with... I will not buy an Apple product at any time in my life. Guarantee you I will not do it. And I've already explained why. So if you want to go searching through my videos, you'll find that. But anyway, that's what I'm not going to do. Anyway, you see I already have apps on here. When you're dealing with an Android phone, you will go through Google Play to get apps. Some apps are free, others are not. So you got to watch out for that. Some start out free, and then it's for a free trial. After that, then you pay them. Watch out for that as well. Okay? But like I said, some apps are very free. Okay, now the next thing you need to know is the settings. Now, down here, you're going to see a little icon, and if you press it, this one says management on here. You have utilities as well. Now, utilities, before I go into management, utilities, this is where you're going to have your calendar, and you're also going to have your calculator. You're going to have a little writing tablet. You can actually write with your finger on the thing. Why you'd want to do that, I don't know. I prefer my laptop, and I prefer my split key keyboard. I wish somebody would develop a wireless split key keyboard that would directly interface with a smartphone, an Android smartphone. If they ever do it, that'd be great. If you guys know somebody who has done this already, let me know, and I'll look it up and probably buy one, because I do not like tapping on the screen. I don't like doing much with this screen, I guarantee you that. But with Android phones, especially Tracphones, you will usually find that they will accept secure digital cards. They are not SanDisk cards, they are secure digital cards. I've discussed this in a previous video. If you don't believe me, you can search through my videos and you can find out for yourself that I discussed secure digital cards, so we won't go into that again. Alright, so if you hit your utilities, you're going to find your calculator, you're going to have a word pad that you can use, you're also going to have a calendar you can work with, that kind of thing. I'm not going to go into that heavy duty here, but that's what you'll find in utilities. In management, what you're going to find here is you can manage your battery saver, you can manage your apps, you can say, okay, some of these apps I want to store directly on the memory of the smartphone. Now keep in mind that these particular Android smartphones do not have a whole lot of random access memory. They just don't. Okay? So you may want to store most of your apps on your chips. The secure digital chips, they can be stored on there. I found that out. So if you want to make sure that those particular apps are stored on your chip, they will not work if the chip's not in your smartphone, but that's kind of a price you may want to pay. But the thing is, what I would do is I would buy the largest size micro SD card and put it in your phone, store your apps on there, store your photos. I wouldn't store a whole lot of videos on there. I really wouldn't. If you do a video, do it short and sweet. and then definitely get it off your micro SD card so that you can put it back in your phone and you can do another one. Videos just take up a lot of space. That's exactly what they do. And unless it's something super important. Now, me personally, you know what I do instead? I have a Kodak Easy Share. I also have a USB cable that hooks up to a brick. And I'm just going to go ahead and show you this here. I actually have 2 bricks now. They look like this. They're battery bricks. Do not drop these. If you do, you can cause damage to them. So it's best not to drop them. I have dropped I have 2 of them now. One's new, one's old. One's much bigger than the other. I did drop the little one. Fortunately, it's not been damaged too badly, but I'm going to be a little more careful with the big one, especially since I need it so badly. But this is what I would do. If I'm going to tape a video, I would not do it with a smartphone. I would actually do it with a digital camera hooked up to a battery pack. That's how I do it. I wouldn't even mess with a smartphone. But photos do not take very much space. You will, as long as you don't take 500,000 of them. You know, if you're taking about 40 or 50 of them, that's not a problem. Then you can take them home, you can store them on your computer, and boom, there you go. But if you're going to do big time videos, I would highly suggest doing them with a digital camera with a brick. So enough on that one. I told you this is going to be informal, so let's go on here. We have settings. Let's hit settings. Now, settings are very, very important. You have this airplane mode. Unless you're flying on an airplane, just ignore this one. People like me, we don't fly, so that's not going to be a big deal for us. Wi-Fi. This one you're going to have to be careful with. Some Wi-Fi networks allow you to sign in. That's fine. Others, you either have to have a password or they simply don't allow you to sign in. If you try anyway, technically that's illegal. So make sure that whatever Wi-Fi network you're trying to sign into is something legit and they'll let you do it. Now, me personally, I'm going through Comcast right now, and any Xfinity Wi-Fi spots I automatically get free internet because I pay for their Xfinity package. Cool, huh? So I can go to any Xfinity Wi-Fi spot and get my internet for free, and it's secure too. If I go to an Xfinity Wi-Fi spot, I have a special password, I type it in, boom, I'm secure, I'm ready to go. So, if there was one real advantage to having Xfinity Wi-Fi, that would be it. I know that Xfinity Internet is rather expensive, but trust me. Oh, and cable Wi-Fi is the same thing as Xfinity Wi-Fi. I found that out. They're all on the same network. So if you find a cable Wi-Fi or a Xfinity Wi-Fi, you're still in. Kind of nice, huh? Alright, you can have the Bluetooth on or off. I do have a Bluetooth device. It is hooked up to my television set, and I do have Bluetooth speakers in which the device actually transmits to, and that way, when I'm playing music on my TV set, I can actually listen to the music on the speakers. The device was very inexpensive. I had to order it off the internet, but I got it dirt cheap. So anyway, it was really on a good sale. So I got it real dirt cheap. And the speakers, they were dirt cheap too. I won't tell you how I did that one, but I got them dirt cheap. So anyway, I get a lot of stuff dirt cheap. I just know where to look. And so if you look hard enough, you can find some really good deals. Anyway, yes, you can store music on this. Whoops, that was not good. I actually have 800 songs stored on my SD card, my micro SD card, and I can play those through here. There's a Google Music app on here that you can actually use. Alright, I don't like the Google Music app, mainly because I don't like all of its controls, but that's just me. You can play with it all you want. Mobile data. Now here's the trick on this. If you're not near an Xfinity Wi-Fi hotspot, and you're not near your own internet box. Okay, now me, I've got a Comcast broadband box. Alright, so as long as I'm near it, all the internet is free to this smartphone. Okay, it does tap into my terabyte data limit, but not that much. Okay, but if I'm not in any of those spaces, it immediately turns to the Tracfone internet, and what happens is that it eats up your mobile data. So it's really a good idea to turn off the mobile data unless you absolutely have to have it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn mine off. And what you'll do is you'll swipe your finger this way to turn it off, and then you'll swipe it this way to turn it on. When you're turning it off, it's going to ask you if you want to turn it off, and you say yes, and there you go. A suggestion from me to all of you: if you're going to take that smartphone with you first thing in the morning before you actually take off for your trip, make sure that you turn your phone on, okay, and allow all the notifications to come into your phone before you leave. That way it's free to you. Because unless you're at a hotspot, a Wi-Fi hotspot, it's going to tap into your mobile data, and I'm telling you what, those notifications just eat up your mobile data like crazy. Especially if your apps need to be updated. Now, one of the things is that there is a function on here that will keep those apps from being updated until you're at home where you can actually update them. At this point, I'm trying to remember where that particular part of the thing is. Let's see. I think it's under apps. That just lists. You can see all the apps that I've got on this thing. If you find an app that you really don't want, you can actually delete it. I do have the Ibotta app. I don't put Ebates on here because I don't make any purchases with my smartphone. Here's the reason why you never make a purchase on your smartphone. The main reason is if you lose your smartphone, they can tap into it, and certain thieves, not all of them, but certain thieves have technology where they can actually recover your passwords, and as soon as they got those, you're ruined. So never ever buy anything off your smartphone. Make sure that every purchase you do is from your house. It's better that way, trust me. Don't do any banking on your smartphone. Never ever do that. Big mistake. Okay? It's bad enough that your messages are on here and that people can tap into your Gmail and possibly your Facebook or stuff like that, but you really do not want somebody to tap into your bank accounts or things like Amazon or something like that. Don't ever buy any Amazon stuff through your smartphone. Really bad idea. Now, as you can see, there is a Tracfone app on here. If you're buying this from Tracfone, the first thing you want to do is put the Tracfone app on your phone, because you can actually, believe it or not, check to see how many days you have left on your phone. You can actually check. You can actually buy one of those airtime cards, and you can then add the airtime directly to your phone without having to call their number and go through a major headache to do that. And I guarantee you that's exactly what you want to do. I do have the YouTube app on there. I also have my Creator Studio. It's called the YT Studio, and I can show you that here. And this will show you the information. Right now I have 1,472 people that actually watch me on a regular basis. As you can see your watch time, and my watch time has gone up. My number of views has gone up. I've added 18 subscribers, I believe, in the last month. I don't make any revenue right now because I'm not on the partnership program. You can see your videos, and more importantly, how many people have viewed them, whether they like them, so on and so forth. You can see all the comments people have left you, but you can see even more than that. You can actually hit this view more, and right now In the last 48 hours, I have been watched 850 times. Most of this is because of my review of the Arctic Air, but enough about that. The point is, you can do overview. This can show you your revenue. It can show you how people are discovering your channel, so on and so forth. Let's get out of that. Alright. Let's get out of that too. When you see the little telephone thing here, you can actually hit it. Oops. Okay. When you hit the telephone, you can actually see the telephone number. I mean, the digits. You can actually dial your phone. When you punch up all the numbers, then you hit your telephone thing. This is your telephone receiver. Hit it, and then you can make a phone call. You have your call log. You can put contacts on here, that kind of thing. That's where that all is going to come into play. I do have Instagram on here. The reason I have Instagram is because of the Looking for Lincoln Heritage Coalition. As you know, I am their living map. So therefore, I have placed a ton of photos of these Looking for Lincoln signs on my Instagram account. You can go see them anytime you want. If you want a hyperlink to that, I'll happily share it with you. Just let me know. In the meantime, yes, you can access Facebook, and you can access your Facebook Messenger too. So you can actually talk to people. I usually don't talk to people through the Facebook Messenger while I'm on the smartphone. The main reason for that is that I don't like the keyboard on here. That's why. Anyway, down here you see a caption. Right down here, that's your messaging system. Okay? And if I recall correctly, you can actually set up your voicemail. I would not set up the voicemail using this. I would use the landline that you have to set up your voicemail, because if you use this, it's going to eat up minutes off your Tracfone. And if you don't use the Tracfone that often, and I usually don't, there you go. So, I believe it is 86 star that takes you directly to the Tracfone voicemail service, where you can actually set up your voicemail. I recommend you go ahead and do that. But anyway, let me see here, because I don't show everything to everyone. I have my Xfinity. You can access Chrome from here, Google Chrome. There is a mobile Google Chrome on here, and that way you can access your Gmail. You can access Gmail from here. You can access YouTube. You can use Google Chrome to access Twitter. Let me tell you something. I don't use Twitter that much, and when I do, I actually do it from my laptop. I never, ever respond to tweets on Twitter from my smartphone. I just never do it. It's a dumb thing to do. I don't have the keyboard for it, so I don't do that. So, if you ever get a tweet back from me, it is coming from my laptop, not from my smartphone. Won't do it. Anyway, you can access Google Maps. Now, there's an offline map that you can actually access, but they demand that you update it periodically. When you update Google Maps, the offline portion, make sure you're at home, use your home internet, or do it through an Xfinity Wi-Fi hotspot if you have Xfinity. If you have AT&T, do it your AT&T way. I don't care. But don't ever use your Tracfone mobile data to do it, because it will eat it up like crazy. Now, where do you get notifications? Well, I'm going to show you that. If you stroke your finger down this way, you're going to see all your notifications. As you can see here, I got a notification from Facebook. I got a notification from Ibotta. I got Google updates. Google has a weather service that will tell you things. Now, if you hook this smartphone up to a photo kiosk, okay, and you bring this down, you're going to see options there's going to be two of them. There's going to be a Media Transfer Protocol, otherwise known as an MTP, or a Photo Transfer Protocol, also known as a PTP. Picking either one of those while your phone is hooked up to their kiosk will allow the kiosk to access the photos on your phone. Okay, I can't show you that here because I am not hooked up to a kiosk right now, but if I was, there you go. Like I said, you got your you can turn your notifications from a physical sound to just a it's like the rumble packs that they used to have on the old Nintendo systems, where you would feel a vibration instead of actually hearing a sound type thing. This particular phone on the side has a volume up and down. Now then, and of course you can turn the volume up and down using this here. You can go all the way up like that, or you can go all the way down. Doesn't matter either way. If you turn all the way down, it will vibrate, but you will not know, it won't produce your ringtones. I don't know how to put ringtones on here just yet, but eventually I will. Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else. Let me put it to you this way. If you have any questions about this smartphone stuff, and I haven't answered them here, by all means give me a buzz. The only time that you want to use your credit card information on your smartphone is with the Tracfone app, because you may want to load more mobile data, and that will cost you. Okay? And this is something that I might do in the not so distant future. The reason I may add some more Tracfone mobile data on here is because that I plan to videotape the bicentennial of the state of Illinois in Springfield on August 26th, and having that mobile data could be very handy as I travel through Springfield. I will be going with a friend of mine, a former co-worker that I had from years ago, and this friend is going to go with me, and the friend can use my smartphone to help us navigate in and out of Springfield. And that would be a good thing to use your mobile data on. Otherwise, try to conserve your mobile data. You might actually need it at some point, especially if you get lost. Okay, one last thing. I'll go ahead and cover this. There is another symbol on here called Media. You see that symbol right down here? Well, if you don't, then trust me, there's a symbol down here called Media. You have your gallery, whoops. You have your gallery, and then you actually have your camera. If you touch your camera, I'm sorry I had to cut out part of my video here. That was because I activated my camera. When I pushed that little icon, it activated the camera, and my room's kind of messy, so I didn't want you to see the rest of my room. I didn't realize. Oops. But anyway, you can actually take a photo. There's a little lens right here, and there's also a lens on the back. And you can reverse it back and forth, and you can take photos that are in front of you or behind you. I couldn't tell you exactly how to do that because I've never done it before, but it can be done. Anyway, if there are any questions about this, definitely leave me a comment down below. I thank you for watching this rather informal presentation, but you'll kind of get an idea about smartphones now, kind of how they work, that kind of thing. Oh, one last thing. I guess we'll just do one last thing. These bars up here, the horizontal bars, I'm sorry, they're not horizontal, they're vertical, okay? Vertical bars, they tell you how much mobile data reception that you have. This would tell you whether you can actually make a phone call through Tracfone or not. The arcs, you can see these arc lines, there's 4 of them. This tells you if you're close to an Xfinity Wi-Fi spot or to your home internet or some other Wi-Fi spot. That'll tell you how close you are to one, and then you can, obviously there's a battery symbol right here that'll tell you how much battery power you have. This will tell you whether you're activating your Bluetooth or not. There's all kinds of things this thing's got. Who would have thought you'd have a supercomputer in the palm of your hand? Well, you do. Anyway, that's all I've got to say for tonight. I thank you very much for watching this particular presentation. Hopefully you know a little more about smartphones. If you need any further assistance from me, I will be more than happy to tell you more. In the meantime, I hope you guys have a great week. I will tell you more in a future video, so I'd like for you to stay tuned.